coming to you live here in Kanpur, over in Uttar Pradesh, India. We are here, of course, with the next installment, the 87th installment of ESL Open Cup Asia Division. I'm, of course, Yakuzaku of Zaku, and with me today is La Gobernadora de Todos los Sureños, Light_VIP. How we doing, Light?
What's up, Yaku? Yes, we are here. We may be an hour late, and my god, does a lot happen in an hour. I was looking at the bracket, it's like, yo, we've already got like some quarterfinalists waiting for players. It's like, Jesus Christ, people just speed ran through the bracket today. But luckily, we were able to find a series.
That we were here right on time. Finally able to find one of the few ones that weren't already in game. Here we are on Romanticide LE. We're in the top left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner. The green Protoss player coming down from the land of Denmark. He is going to be, I'm double-checking this real quick, representing the team Psystorm Gaming. There we go. He is MaxPax. I swear to God, I almost said guys.
What the hell?
That would have been a mistake.
And spawning in at the bottom right-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the Protoss player himself, the Chinese Protoss, representing Good Game Gaming. GGG. It is Cyan.
Already denied his color. Oh, MaxPax. Brutal. There's a reason he decided to be lobby host.
There is. And we are not jumping into a fresh series. We are jumping in mid-series, as if I am not mistaken, MaxPax is currently up 1-0.
Oh my. Once again, an unlikely favorite in the ESL Open Cup Asia. He's been doing, I mean, for a very long time, he's been making a name for himself over in the EU weeklies. He's then spread his wings into NA, where he won a couple of those. And starting from last week, I believe, we were actually able to catch MaxPax in ESL Open Cup Asia. So signing up a little bit more regularly for these.
Yeah, it's really cool to see some of these European players sign up. Obviously, nowadays, it's worth it because of the boosted prize pool, if you remember. So we have a couple of them, MaxPax being one of them. Euthermal is in here as well. Even last week, we saw like a decent amount of Protoss players, a decent amount of Europeans. Bly, Skillis, but they haven't had like the best of times here, right? Like, we haven't seen a European champion yet in the Asia Cups like we have had Korean champions in the European Cups.
Yeah, or even the European champions in the NA Cups.
True.
You will notice that one player from that EU region who decided not to ruin his sleep schedule this week, which I was a little bit disappointed in. Raza.
Yeah, it's because
we weren't there from the start.
He knew that we were going to be late. He's like, it's not worth it.
Exactly.
Like, yo, if my boy's not going to be costing me, then it's just, I'm just going to go to bed.
In my head. His wife's like, oh my god, we decided to actually not stay up this week.
We can go to bed together.
So sad about it too.
Oh my god. But Raza, we love you, and get some rest. Get out of that degen sleep schedule. Don't become a Starduck. Oh god. But we are slowly getting into this game, and we did have a couple of interesting divergence, if you will. As we did have a Stargate opener, but the Oracle was forced to recall. Thankfully, it wasn't killed.
Yeah, it's still alive, not taking much, if any, hull damage here. And energy can be put to use later on, or even now, to just set up a bit of a defense. Cyan doesn't quite have eyes into the main base of MaxPax, but seeing the Phoenixes out, seeing the Stargate units, he knows that something's coming this way.
Definitely. I mean, he's got his Stalkers ready and waiting for those Phoenixes. Oh, he was trying to get a third base, but he was denied by those Phoenixes. As he has to, try and ferry that probe across.
Very careful, and he does manage to throw down that third base. MaxPax, a third base is not in his game plan for quite some time here, as he just continues to build up that Phoenix count.
Not just the Phoenix count, he's transitioning, and oh my, that's a decent amount of gateways that are being thrown down. On top of this, you know, we do have the Forge finished up. I'm a little bit surprised we don't have +1 yet from MaxPax. Even though he's had the Forge for a while, it's Cyan who's ahead in the upgrades.
Yeah, the Forge upgrades especially, and the Twilight Council too. It makes sense. I mean, Cyan is focused on a much more of a ground-based composition, whereas MaxPax does want to utilize the Phoenixes in the early game quite a bit more before transitioning out. Still.
Yeah, now he finally is able to throw it down. You know, he's able to finally attempt to catch up with those upgrades. His third is on the way, but much later compared to his opponent. So again, with I guess you could say the worst economy, MaxPax does have, or is working on, I guess, a stronger army. Like, we have Immortals on the way on top of the Phoenixes that he already has, and we've seen Phoenixes really utilized like incredibly well in these PvP fights, right? You know, picking off War Prisms, picking off high-tech units, just seeing the Stalkers, like they're disgusting.
They really are. Every race can agree on that one.
Oh god, PvP unwinnable.
Definitely. Well, it's hard to win your opponent has easy tools. I'm ashamed I jumped into the beat.
Something that I'm impressed by though is that, yo, the stasis field is pretty insane here. Like, yo, Cyan he's set up defensively.
Yeah, it's very well covered, the area. I know there's a word for that I'm forgetting here. Comprehensive, there we go. It's very comprehensive with these stasis wards, making sure that there are no blind spots. Cyan, that is. Meanwhile, throughout all of this, MaxPax, as you said, is getting a better army, but I feel like he needs to utilize it very soon. Cyan has been stable on 3 bases for quite some time. He's focusing entirely on transitioning his tech.
That he is. I mean, Cyan, he's relying on a more, it's kind of like a Zest-esque, like, gateway-focused army, you know, nothing but Stalkers and Zealots. He's gonna have, again, he's already halfway through +2, right? So he's gonna have a massive upgrade advantage. He's avoiding Immortals entirely. And we'll see how that works out for him as he just takes a 4th. Okay.
Alright then. Well, this is a strategy that for Cyan is kind of risk-reward, but not so much risk. It's very micro-intensive, I will say, utilizing these Blink Stalkers as effectively, but I guess he knows he does have a little bit of an advantage when it comes to the ping here, so might as well see what he can get done.
Yeah, we'll see how good the Focus Fire is going to be here, as we do have the Phoenixes coming in. They do pick up Stalker after Stalker. Still, though, the Blink Stalkers are trading fairly well, but a lot of them do go down.
Yeah, focusing a lot on trying to take out the Phoenixes, and that just allowed the Archons to get some volleys off. It allowed the Chargelets to really chip away at them. The Pylon, reinforcing Pylon, gets taken out, and that was a kill on that gateway, not a cancel.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Oh my god, the high ground vision provided by the Phoenixes and the Observer was insane there for MaxPax. He just shut down the reinforcement point. That means that Cyan is going to have a really hard time just like continuing on this pressure. He still is warping in at home and just waddling across the map. And to be fair, this is okay. Like, he isn't looking to end the game. He's just looking to keep MaxPax at home while he expands.
Yeah, he knows he has a better economy, and he's looking to maintain that lead. Eventually, he'll be able to utilize it, but... We'll see if MaxPax decides to try to break out of his contain. He does have quite a number of Immortals and a lot of Archons. Not necessarily the most effective counter against Stalkers, but at least when it comes to range. But if they ever get close, those Stalkers are definitely going to pay the price.
That they are. Meanwhile, ooh, there isn't too much here. These Phoenixes still finding some damage across the map. Meanwhile, the Stalkers are trying to find a way towards that third base. There's only one shield battery here, but again, the Archons, the Immortals, the Zealots, they're all here ready and waiting.
Yeah, they are beefy units. Nice little pickoffs on the Phoenixes. MaxPax isn't looking to replace those, so it's, you know, kind of a double-edged sword. He won't have as much crowd control as the fights happen, but he is trying to transition to something more ground-based regardless.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. Like, Cyan, he's on top of his upgrades, he's working on +3, but I would have assumed that there would have been like, oh my god, we do have a stasis ward, and it does only catch a handful of the Zealots.
Honestly, that's actually more than I thought they would pick off. I thought only one of them would be affected, but yeah, definitely not enough to really turn the tides here for Cyan as MaxPax continues to close the gap.
Yeah. Like, I was about to say that I was waiting for like a disruptor transition from Cyan, right? Like, you skip all this tech to get to the disruptors, but he's still only relying on pure blink stalkers.
Which, I mean, they're cheap if you can get a lot of them, and if you can micro perfectly, then they can be very effective. But as you said, they're just low-tech units. You don't want to rely on them as the game goes further on. Cyan has a lot of stalkers, but look at how MaxPax is utilizing this choke point. Look at that concave, too. His army is getting thinned out, but he's just been trading so efficiently in the meantime.
Exactly, and at the same time, we have a massive Zealot run by hitting the third base. It's insane. This War Prism putting in a lot of work. A lot of Stalkers have to respond to this, and at the same time, in comes MaxPax with his Immortals. The fourth base will go down.
I've been waiting the entire game for this moment, Light, when MaxPax is able to break out from that contain, utilize his much more sophisticated army, and he's not getting too greedy. He takes out that fourth base. He knows his army is, you know, powerful but small, so he just recalls out.
Yeah, he just goes all the way back home. We do have a couple of DTs out on the map here for Cyan. They got a lot of work to do. What do we have? We have cannons being set up here, and the cannons aren't being focused down. Can the base still fall? Oh no, there's detection. Never mind.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Observer acting is a bit of a temporary detected edge, at least until the cannons can come out, and Stalker's trying to get something done. Cyan trying to do the same multi-prong that MaxPax is doing. But chargelets more than DTs.
Yeah, especially when there's detection. Speaking of chargelets, they do go across the map. Okay, the DTs were able to stop them. Okay, at least.
DTs versus DTs.
Defensively, the DTs do have the advantage there. So, okay. Cyan is able to hold on to his third base. He's trying to reclaim his fourth, but so far behind compared to his opponent. He still has to make something happen with these Stalkers. And again, he's still stuck on this tech. He still hasn't transitioned out.
Well, he's getting DT Blink, which I guess is something. Surprisingly, MaxPax is the first player to go for Disruptors. And when you have Archons and Immortals already out, with some Zealots as well every now and then, getting Disruptors in is basically just securing a victory.
Exactly. Disruptors are what you want in the mid to late game PvP, and here comes again. It's just insane how many Zealots this guy gets out. It's crazy. Look at him. It's like, what are you gonna
Zealots
do?
Are good, yo. They're like man with gun, but they're man with sword. Oh, these Immortals do get cut out though.
There we go.
Was a little bit elsewhere.
Yeah, the Immortals and the Archons go down. Oh, the Disruptor goes down as well.
That's an unfortunate rally. Really the first engagement that started to go Cyan's way. Gives him a ton of breathing room.
Hey, you say breathing room, I say momentum. Like, that was a pretty expensive loss for MaxPax. All those Immortals and Archons that he was saving throughout the game, they're all just gone, and now it's just Zealots, a couple of Stalkers, and a handful of Disruptors.
Yeah, MaxPax has really gone from an army composition that can secure him a victory to a composition that is at a little bit of an advantage, but look at how easy it is to sniper Disruptor when they don't have a buffer.
Yeah, the Disruptor immediately goes down. Meanwhile, that buffer is across the map again. The Zealots just keep going for the counterattack. Disruptor shot goes off, but it misses. It does not hit with the army.
It just barely misses. Battery overcharge being popped, but there's nothing for it to actually utilize that energy on. We do have a bit of a base trade on our heads. Disruptor! That's a Purification Nova though, and now that all that momentum that Cyan had basically gets stalled here. He is continuing to fight, but it's hard to push up this ramp when there are shield batteries, when MaxPax still has quite a bit of a bank, when he still has all that production to warp in Stalkers from.
Exactly, and MaxPax, he does lose his fourth base, but he holds on. Meanwhile, that massive Zealot run by was stopped by DTs. Again, defensively, especially because MaxPax doesn't have detection across the map, these Zealot run bys, they aren't really paying for themselves anymore. And the fourth base survived for Cyan, so now he is the one ahead in bases.
Have we just even things out here, Light? Cyan is ahead in bases. MaxPax has had a very comfortable, and I would say still maintains a pretty comfortable worker lead.
Yeah,
remaking
yeah.
his own fourth there, and
I think the armies are pretty comparable with each other. Problem is that they're missing each other. Okay, there we go. Cyan finally gets eyes on it with his spotter pylon. He's trying to go back towards his third base, but he's a little bit out of position, and in comes Cyan. Sorry, MaxPax.
oh, he is very out of position. If Cyan can jump on top of that disruptor, then I feel like Cyan will have the advantage, but that's a big if, isn't it?
It really is. Meanwhile, remember, those DTs, they do have blink. They do blink on top of the army. So do the stalkers, and he pushes MaxPax back.
Disruptor exposed. Disruptor's exposed.
Oh my god. Oh my god. One more blink.
Out of the blink. One more volley on top of the disruptor will take it out. Zealots are still very formidable, though. Both players have +3 DTs from MaxPax. Are able to take out the fourth base of Cyan. It's funny that every time a player tries to get a fourth base, it gets taken out. That old PvP adage, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all about getting that fourth base. We just can't get it here. You know, MaxPax, he just gets his up and running. That means it's about to die.
Yeah,
oh, God.
pretty much.
We'll see, we'll see. I mean, Cyan, he's going across the map. Again, he's still down in supply, down in workers, down in army. And we do have a couple of Archons finally on the way for MaxPax. He's starting to replenish the ones that he lost earlier. And he still has those disruptors popping out as well.
Yeah, I still think that MaxPax is in a much more stable position, but the mobility of Cyan's army does give him a lot of options.
It does, it does. It just feels like MaxPax's army has a little bit more longevity to it. Like, it takes so much more to take out these Archons and these Disruptors. Like, Cyan is so stubborn right now. He's almost playing like Haas. You know how Haas just makes nothing but gateway units, but he has an insane economy behind it? It's like Cyan, except Cyan doesn't have that economy. Oh no!
Disruptor!
Oh!
Riley, please! And the Archon gets taken out too. Cyan somehow is able to find these little key openings, or I guess it's less openings so much as it is MaxPax leaving a lot of his units exposed. Detection gets sniped by these DTs.
Yeah, I think
and
finally,
yeah,
MaxPax has realized, mate, I shouldn't be going for Zealot run-bys. DT run-bys is where it's at. He still gets pushed away because of the defensive DTs, but, you know, damage is being done.
Yeah. Can't get taken out. A lot of workers get sniped. Unfortunately, we don't have game heart, but yeah, that's suffice to say a very comfortable worker lead MaxPax is maintaining. Even more if you can take out this fourth.
Yeah, exactly. As now MaxPax, he has such a large gateway army compared to Cyan. He has so many more stalkers. Where are those DTs? Oh, they're looking to flank.
Sandwich, sandwich, sandwich.
Detection goes down.
And these DTs are reigning supreme, chasing these stalkers all the way across the map. Detection for MaxPax is now here, but it's a little too late.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Those DTs came in clutch. Speaking of DTs, we have more DTs coming in here from MaxPax, looking to take down the river. Oh my god.
No observer will be made here. Cyan is forced to pull his observers back with the rest of his army, opening up a multi-prong. GG is called. MaxPax will take that series 2-0.
Ooh, GG.
Nicely done.
Yeah, nicely done there. Cyan, he had a lot of moments of brilliance there, but at the same time, it's like, mate, like, it's just stalkers, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Ay.
Moments of brilliance, I think, definitely. Yeah, it's the best way to describe that. He was making himself a lot of openings, but MaxPax was doing a good job of delaying him, buying himself enough time to really allow his, again, his more sophisticated, more high-tech army to come into play.